Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1293.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about the market is calling for 6 interest rate cuts in 2024, and yet the Fed has only projected about 3 publicly. So what do I mean by that? Well, we can look at the futures markets and the way the markets are projecting future interest rates. And what we see is that the Fed funds futures is saying that there will be a 0.25% cut in March of 24, another 0.25% in May of 24, another 0.25% in June of 24 and July of 24, and also September and December of 24. So according to the Fed funds futures contracts, which usually are correct, usually the Fed does what the futures markets say, and what they are saying is 6 interest rate cuts in 2024. Now, it doesn't mean it's absolutely going to happen. These things can fluctuate, but what I make of this is that the inflation rate has been much lower than was originally expected. Remember when the Fed was talking about higher for longer, which meant that they thought they'd have to keep rates higher because inflation was going to stay high? Well, inflation hasn't stayed high. Remember, we reported the Chicago Fed president, Austin Goolsbee, saying that inflation could drop the fastest that we've seen in decades. And that's what's happening. Inflation is coming down very quickly, and therefore the futures market is projecting that interest rates will come down and come down sharply. Now, this is not something that most people are talking about. Just today on television, someone was saying that they didn't think real estate was going to do much because interest rates weren't going to move much. Well, if they're looking at this data, it says something completely different. It's projecting that rates will fall and fall sharply, and I believe that's going to set off a housing boom. Right now, we have about 5% more inventory than we had at the end of last year. And so we have a little bit more inventory, but still, most markets have vastly lower inventory available of homes for sale than they would normally have. Like I've reported here in the Southern California desert, we are 1,000 homes under what we normally have as listings. So with the shortage of homes for sale, but interest rates coming down, I think more sellers are going to get motivated to sell and more buyers are going to get motivated to buy. And it's going to be a very hot real estate market into 2025 and possibly 2026. The other thing we've seen is that housing prices have gone up in most markets. There's only a handful of markets where prices actually did decline. So we're actually seeing higher home prices, and that's again due to low inventory. So through this interest rate cycle where rates went up and were truly out of reach for many people, prices held their ground pretty well in most markets. And that means when interest rates come down, those markets are really going to take off, in my opinion. So don't get distracted by what Chairman Powell and the Fed tell you, because they actually don't always broadcast what they're going to do. They talk interest rates up or down, and that's called jawboning. But the truth is, the futures markets are very good at projecting future interest rates. And I want to let you know that because of all the additional services I've added to the VIP experience, we are going to be raising our prices as of January 8th. So if you've been wanting to join, remember, you join once and you have lifetime membership. And we cover investments that you typically can't get through your Wall Street broker, like private equity and a portfolio of cryptocurrencies that go beyond just the main 2. So if you're ready to expand your portfolio into some other high compounding areas, the VIP experience could be just the place for you to do that. You'll find more details on my website at lindapjones.com. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.